Hello everybody. Today we're going to announce the wheelchair of the future. Today we are announcing the autonomous wheelchair. First, there are two types of wheelchairs on the market, manual and power. With a manual, the user must use his or her upper body strength to maneuver the wheelchair. With a power wheelchair, the consumer maneuvers the device via a joystick. There are three key features of these types of wheelchairs. First, they help aid mobility for users that are unable to walk. Second, they offer compact designs. Manual wheelchairs are light in weight, easy to adjust, and affordable. Power wheelchairs are a bit bulkier compared to manual, but they relieve a lot of stress from the user. Power wheelchairs don't press strain on the body and are easy to operate. They have desirable components such as armrest, leg rest, and most importantly, they are very comfortable. Wheelchairs have not improved much over the years since the invention of the power wheelchair. Other markets are advancing quickly because they are implementing the latest technologies. One market that is consistently trying to improve year after year is the automobile industry. The automobile industry is advancing quickly because they continuously utilize next-generation technology. Car manufacturers are adding features with each additional model they release. It is still in its infancy, but it is no secret that the self-driving, autonomous vehicle is the next big breakthrough in the automobile industry. These vehicles implement various technologies in order to drive the consumer to their desired location. The user does not have to have full control of the vehicle like he or she would have to in a typical vehicle. Due to the number of benefits that autonomous vehicles offer consumers, many companies, such as the ones listed here, are investing heavily in developing self-driving cars. Most importantly, autonomous vehicles are safe. Autonomous vehicles are expected to decrease the number of accidents that occur on the roads. The processor and other components have a quick reaction time and thus can quickly prevent a collision. The second key benefit is that they offer increased mobility. They allow consumers to be able to travel long distances while requiring very little effort from the user. This is the next breakthrough that the wheelchair market needs. Implementing the same technology that is seen in autonomous vehicles, it is possible to develop the world's first self-driving wheelchair. In order to develop an autonomous wheelchair, we're going to have to implement various technologies. First, we need a LiDAR. LiDARs are used to track user distance. Radars detect roads, vehicles, and pedestrians. Video cameras also monitor the surroundings and make it possible to read traffic lights and signs. The GPS is used to provide accurate positioning. Ultrasonic sensors measure the position of objects close to the device. And lastly, we need a central computer, also known as the heart. The central computer analyzes all sensor input. This critical component applies the rules of the streets and roads. It controls the accelerator, brakes, as well as the steering. So, why do we need an autonomous wheelchair? First off, most places do not offer sufficient public transportation that can be seen across a few major cities. On top of this, there are still buses that are not handicap accessible. There are 3.6 million users at ages 15 and up that rely on a wheelchair to help aid their mobility. On top of this, there is an additional 11.6 million people that use another device, such as a cane or a walker, to help assist them. An autonomous wheelchair makes it easy for users to travel to nearby locations. It presses zero strain on the body, and no longer will disabled persons have to wait for a handicapped-equipped bus. There are vehicles available with a wheelchair lift, but they are usually very costly. Users should not find it burdensome to have to travel short distances. Autonomous wheelchairs remove this burden. With this being said, we have a few goals we need to accomplish. First, the autonomous wheelchair has to be affordable in order to reach a large number of consumers. The Power Wheelchair offers a comfortable design that consumers are happy with. An all-new design is unnecessary. It is the internal components of the wheelchair that needs to be revamped, not the external. Simply put, the Power Wheelchair will be modified and slightly altered in order to implement the added components. Through Medicare coverage, the cost will not be substantial to consumers. The cost to produce the wheelchair would be much greater if a whole new chassis was built, compared to just adding the components to a current design. The Power Wheelchair utilizes a joystick for maneuvering the wheelchair. This is a very simple user interface that is familiar to a lot of users. Thus, the joystick will remain on an autonomous wheelchair in order to allow the consumer to reach precise locations. Lastly, an autonomous wheelchair will increase mobility for disabled users by removing the strain that a manual wheelchair requires, and thus it does not have to be fully operated by the user. We will be using handwritten drawings for component placements and develop three-dimensional models of the autonomous vehicle by using Creo parametric software. We will begin to have conversations with multiple suppliers to determine which cameras, radars, batteries, GPS systems, and lidars to use. The contracts are expected to be finalized by October 15, 2016. Based on the size of the various components being implemented, we will make additional changes to the three-dimensional model in order to ensure that all components fit the desired design. The first prototype will be developed by March 1, 2017. Strenuous testing will be performed to ensure that all components are functioning properly. Additionally, we will begin to produce more models and continue our testing beginning on January 1, 2018. There is a large market that this device will greatly enhance the lives of. It will increase mobility for millions of users all across the world while offering them a peace of mind when traveling to short, desired locations. This is truly the wheelchair of the future. Thank you so much for joining me today. Have a great day.